Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you with the 2014 TNA Lockdown review and results. All this down. I am 100% honest with you guys. I am glad that I had a hard night and I was not giving 100% of my attention to this TNA pay-per-view. I've always said that basically, sometimes I've liked TNA more than I liked it other times. But basically, I watch TNA on Thursday nights because there's no other, pay-per-views to watch. Or no normal wrestling to watch. Basically WWE doesn't run a Thursday show. When NXT Arrival was on, I chose to watch NXT over it, and I haven't really been into TNA for the last little while. But basically, when a pay-per-view comes along, you have to divert your attention to it. And there wasn't a whole bunch of tension on TNA tonight, basically because not a whole lot of people are watching it. Nobody wants to pay $45 for a show. Nobody really wants to stream the show because out of the blue, this show, True Detective, with Matthew McConaughey on HBO, was like the hottest shit in the world. He wins one Oscar, and all of a sudden everybody wants to act like, everybody's been watching this show the whole time. Nobody wants to act like, hey, oh, you like that show? Maybe I'll go check it out. Everybody wants to act like, they're the biggest fan, and they've been watching it the whole time. I don't even know that many people with HBO, but all of a sudden, everybody's like, I'm going to go check that out instead of watching the TNA show. I'm not 100% sure what was going on. But in the main event, Team MVP, and a real big surprise to me, really did pull it off. They had a real big surprise with Bully Ray as a special guest referee coming out. It looked like he was going to be on a member of Team Dixie, being sort of like that surprise guy. But at the end, basically, he watched MVP kick Rude right in the head. And Rude went down, got the 1, 2, 3 there, and then after it was all said and done, just to make sure that there was no sort of special swerve going along with it, he picked up Rude and powerbombed him one more time for good measure. Bully Ray looks like he goes from being the biggest nemesis of the whole company, running the aces and eights, being the big time president, to all of a sudden buddy with now the guy who is running TNA. He has the full, I don't know how they figured this out, if they were fighting over one share or what they were doing, but now MVP is the guy who is in charge. He'll be making decisions about what's going on, what happens to Dixie, what happens to Spud. They're still going to be there being the thorn in his side, but if all off goes according to plan, he is the guy who's going to be in charge in what's going down on there. And then in your, I would like to say the main event, but in your TNA Championship match, out of the middle of nowhere, I don't even know how this really fits in. Abyss comes down, interferes, hits the Black Hole Slam on Samoa Joe. Magnus gets the win in that one. Of course, that was under Samoa Joe rules. Nothing really was on this show really, tore this apart. I wish I'd been able to spend more time watching the Gunner versus James Storm match. Basically, those guys beat the shit out of each other. Basically, Gunner was able to suplex Storm through 2 chairs, and of course, this was last man standing. So it was the guy to answer the couldn't answer the 10 count. Both guys were down. Gunner was able to stand up at the 9 count. He was able to get the big win. Madison Rayne, she was able to get the big spear. She was able to keep the Knockouts Championship in her hands one more month. In between the big feud between Gail Kim and Lady Tapa. I don't know, I guess these guys are going to wrestle 1,000 times because they're the only knockouts, under contract I can think of that's in TNA. Doesn't seem like Velvet Sky really wrestles anymore, so I'm not 100% sure. Out of, Samuel Shaw, he got a win over Mr. Anderson. Now with Bully Ray turning face, they just act like him and Mr. Anderson just don't really have any beef. Anderson's just going to be able to say, I beat you, and that's just going to be it. Out of the Japanese guys, out of both matches, I didn't know why they would come here in order to lose matches. They won their 6-man tag, and they also won their singles match, keeping the X Division title. So, I don't know. Honestly, I'm going to say that TNA, they had a show. You didn't miss nothing if you didn't see it. Just keep watching Impact if you're watching it. If not, I'm really going to try and give a whole lot more of my attention. I don't know why. I've never really watched and kept my interest when they go over to Europe and do all their shows there. Some people like it, some people don't. I don't even like when WWE goes over there. I just, take those weeks off and I put them in the can and say that's it. But there's your lockdown results. We'll find out what, this all means on Thursday. Peace out.